Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Chris, and this is Regular Guy Training. So I got a bunch of questions for guys that are messing with like standard issue PVS 14s with like their units and that kind of stuff. So there are a couple of things, well, a bunch of issues that they run into. The main one is, well, this thing is beat to hell. It's already hard to see out of because you're getting things like, like spots and that kind of stuff. The definition isn't that good, and on top of that, how do you keep this thing, from turning off, right? Because they see me messing around with it, getting into goofy positions, and they ask, it's like, dude, how I see you're running the standard J arm for some of this stuff at least. Why is it that yours doesn't turn off? Because anytime I'm trying to read a map, tie my friggin' shoes, work deck, cord, wire cutters, whatever, the thing just tries to shut off on me if I dip my head a little bit too far. So these are some non-monetary solutions to those issues, so that it just makes your life a little bit easier, and it's easier to concentrate on what you're trying to do instead of this thing screwing with you. So this guy, right, the standard issue J arm, it usually has a wire that runs into a pair of contacts. Okay, these copper contacts connect to these two contacts. Okay, and when that completes is a little bit of a link to the J arm itself. And all this really does is that once the thing is friggin' hooked up, and if it moves in a dramatic fashion as if you're flipping the thing up, it'll shut off on you. And obviously the issue with that is that if this'll happen if you look down or left or right really fast, or like I've seen this happen a lot with guys too, myself included. Like you're on a 240 Bravo or whatever, the thing starts moving, it starts rolling, you're firing a few bursts, and these two, if they're beat to hell enough, can fit so loosely that it jiggles the freaking PVS 14 enough to shut the damn thing off. So what you can do, okay, to fix this, and I suggest that you basically hide from other officers, is you go in with like a fine tip knife or a jeweler's screwdriver or whatever. You get into a good spot that you can start to pry from, because it's pretty snug, the wire is, when it's in here. You can go in from the back side. I suggest going in from this side because it's easier to snug it up, pull it out of there. And once you start to pull it, just keep on prying until that wire comes out. Then you can grab a pair of pliers and just yank the thing out of there. Once you remove that wire, there's nothing really hooking these two things up anymore. So what you end up with is an optic that'll turn on and stay on regardless to what it is that you do with it as far as movement. You have to manually shut the thing off. And honestly, I figure that that's kind of what these contacts are really for, more than an auto shut off when you flip it up. It was more to just deal with troops that don't know how to turn their crap off. And what you don't want to see is batteries that are dead for no reason, or random green spots that are easy to shoot in the dark. Things like that. So you do have to make sure that you're turning your stuff off, obviously, but that's a non-monetary solution to the things just shutting off on you. Something else that you can work with too, and this is a very specific thing. You may be in environments where like it's overcast, you're near some sort of urban area that's really casting a lot of light, okay? Or you have the moon that's out reflecting off of like snow. And that makes the light pollution so bright that this is already auto gaining down from what you're able to pick up in the first place. And you can obviously tell the difference between that and not when you can't turn it up any brighter. And in some cases, I've been out, on particular nights where it's so friggin' bright outside that, other than, making movement, doing small unit tactics type stuff, there's really no reason to walk around with night vision. You can see pretty good. So when you're at that point, when your auto gain is, when you're already auto gaining down, you can't brighten up anymore. Something that you can do to see your hands a little bit better, because a lot of things that people lose when they're using this kind of stuff is they're focused way out there, and stuff that's up here gets really fuzzy, like way fuzzier than this. So that makes life hard to do, just like regular things, okay? We're not even talking about weapons manipulation or nothing. It's, again, map reading, wire cutters, deck cord, tying your friggin' shoes, whatever. What you can do is, this is significantly smaller from the standard issue. And again, I highly suggest that you not hang around officers that can see you when you're doing this. But A non-monetary solution to this is you simply just heat up the same knife you ripped out a wire with like a Bic lighter, get it good and hot, just go into this thing and just carve a larger hole. This is the size that it is, and I only throw this on the front end of this guy when it is that bright, when I cannot brighten up anymore, and even when I throw the cap on, I can't go up anymore. If I go up, it's not that much at all. So what this really does is it gives you some of your close range vision back. I forget the terms for it and all that, but it goes from extremely blurry and I can't see anything to I can see, it's kind of blurry, but I can see my hands again. I can work those wire cutters. I can mess with that det cord Prime C4, freaking, again, tie my friggin' shoes, whatever it is that I need to do. And it makes map reading significantly easier because you can just see more stuff significantly easier and you don't lose that focus by moving your head very slightly. So it's much easier as far as just like quality of life improvements. Now, again, there's monetary solutions to all of this, but this is very much tailored toward guys that either can't, for one reason or another, monetary or otherwise, well, simply they can't. So these are solutions that you can run into to make your life just a bit easier when you're messing with these items, especially standard issue stuff, because regular issue like unit PVS 14s are, compared to the stuff that we buy, awful. Just a lot of reasons. You're looking through a green gravel road instead of a night vision device most of the time, and I'd rather not work around my equipment and be frustrated with it in as many ways as I can. So if this helped you out, great. If not, and this was a snooze fest, sorry. This was a very, very very specific type of video because I'm answering direct questions that more than one person has asked me at this point. So, hope you guys found it helpful. I appreciate you. And remember, regular guy's firearm is the last defense against tyranny. Be easy.